A Leica M without a rangefinder? Surely that's blasphemy. I feel I must enumerate all of my objections and nail them to a door. Hi, I'm Richard from DPReview, and this is the Leica M EV1. And while it might look like a Leica rangefinder, it noticeably doesn't have a rangefinder. It's essentially a variant of the M11. It's got the same 60 megapixel BSI CMOS sensor and the same 2.3 million dot touchscreen on the back, but what it hasn't got is an optical viewfinder, the rangefinder mechanism, or the ISO dial on the corner. Instead, it gets the 5.76 million dot viewfinder from the Q series. Actually, this isn't the first Leica M series not to have a rangefinder. They've previously made the M1, the MD, the MDA, you get the point. But it's the first digital M series to do away with the rangefinder mechanism. Using an EVF instead of a rangefinder means this camera works much more happily with wide lenses and long lenses, where either they give a wider field of view than the rangefinder does, or you end up having to use the very middle of the optical viewfinder. Also, using magnified live view gives you much greater focus precision than a rangefinder mechanism can. And also, you never have to have it calibrated. For all of those theoretical advantages, I still find the M EV1 a deeply frustrating camera to use. I'm not a fan of using manual focus lenses on mirrorless cameras at the best of times, because you usually have to punch in to confirm focus, and then you can't see what your composition is, so you're jumping back and forwards. If you set the M EV1 to punch in automatically when you turn the focus ring, there's a distinct lag before it responds. Alternatively, you can use one of the function buttons or switches, but that's kind of fiddly every time you take your shot. And unlike a modern mirrorless camera, you can't simply give up and go back to using autofocus because, well, there's none of that. Doing away with the optical viewfinder and that rangefinder mechanism saves you $850 compared to the M11. However, this is still a Leica, so it's still going to set you back $9,000. Using a true rangefinder camera can be a peculiar but joyous experience, and I'd recommend that anyone who really cares about photography should rent one and give it a go sometime. Unfortunately, you get none of that experience from the M EV1. And in my opinion, once you're paying 91% of the cost of buying a Leica rangefinder, you should probably just save up and buy the Leica rangefinder.